Woo-hoo-hoo. Yes, guys, welcome back to Max Talks Football, the FPL pod you'll want to listen to. I'm joined by Kyron Lofthouse. Kyron, how are you? And how's your team?
What's going on? My team. I mean, I was in a better place last week. It's mad how football changes, isn't it?
They do say a week's a long time in football, as I can testify this week, because in my professional career, boy, let's not talk about that. But yes, a week's long time in FPL as well, mate. But you know, if you ever need to have a chat, have a sit down, mental health is very important. So we won't joke about that. FPL gets you down, you know, it gets you down. But we're here. There's going to be loads of people out there who maybe had a similar week, so we're going to try and help them and get them back on the ladder. But how are you feeling? Obviously, we'll get onto your team in a minute. The slide I brought up now is Gameweek 3, a little recap. Normally we do this. Lofty, we might as well start with the differentials from last week. We hit again.
Yeah, and I don't even listen to my own advice apparently nowadays. Which I don't know what I'm doing.
We're going to get onto a bad. Yeah, we've got to get it out of the way early doors. We've got to get it out of the way. We were raging Friday night. Tell the listeners and the viewers why.
Yeah, well, we've said Sterling from the off, and I knew he'd have a good week. I knew it, so I called it. And I'm watching him have a good one, and I'm just sat there. I'm texting Max. I'm saying this is not good. And that's a chance. I missed out on that there. But you see this segment here anyway, or this team rate. I don't see that. This is just a load of rubbish. I mean, look.
But we're not looking to have all these players. We're looking at to whether you had a couple of these. So we've got team of the week up here. Jose Sarr is in goal with 11 points. I'll tell you what, Matty Cash. I think the highest score of the week. No, he wasn't. Raheem Sterling was. Cash, Gusto, Dogi, and Anderson at the back. Cash topping the defenders with 17 points. In midfield, Sterling, Diaby, we've mentioned. Bowen, who you're going to mention later. Bruno Fernandes with 12. João Palhinha, again, proving the point that these aren't players you would pick because he's a holding midfielder and a card magnet. And Darwin up front, your boy Darwin. But let's talk about Sterling to start with, and then we'll get on to your boy Darwin. Oh, God. As a footballer, we're both footballers, okay? We've both had careers so far. Obviously, you're kind of at the beginning or the middle of your career. We watch games a little bit differently to, let's say, people who have not been involved in the game, and we saw Sterling have a very, very good game at West Ham. Now, we lost 3-1. My team, Chelsea, lost 3-1. So you can kind of forget about that. He won the penalty that we missed. So he lost out on assist bonuses there. We watched him have a good game. We put him as our differential for last week, and we both didn't put him in our team. What is our excuses?
There's literally none. Because what I saw of Sterling was more than enough. I mean, he looked on it. I mean, the eye test.
The eye test.
Was telling me. The eye test is an important test. It's not always about what's going on with the stats. It says.
So what did you see with your eyes that impressed you about Sterling and Chelsea, maybe?
He just seemed to be, I don't know, I feel like maybe under Poch, he's kind of just going back to doing the things that he is like the best at. Like, he just looked on it. He was going past people like they weren't even there. And like, I haven't seen him do that.
Maybe at Liverpool?
For a while.
Maybe at Liverpool? Because obviously at City, he didn't have to take players on. It's kind of bounce and play and get to the back post, and he'd score a lot of goals. But I remember when he got his move to Liverpool and he was coming through there under Brendan Rodgers, he was taking on players, Suarez, Sturridge. And he's kind of reminded me of that player in the last 2 weeks. 19 points. What did he get? 2 goals and assist, obviously 3 bonus points. And you're mentioning stuff he kind of alluded to in his interview after with Neville and Carragher, I think it was on Friday Night Football, that he's had a chat with Pochettino and he wants to both be on the half turn but also be in the areas without his back to goal and taking on players, and his goal showed that. His first one did, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was even times from the West Ham game, I mean, he's getting it. And his first 5 yards, he's rapid.
Yeah.
So he's going past about 3 of them, taking them out of the game. And when I saw that, I thought, really gonna have to consider that. And I can't tell you what I was thinking. Sometimes I make decisions, I can't explain them because I literally said everything pointed towards it, and then he comes up with that. I think he'll carry on doing that by the looks of it as well.
And I think
mean,
we were all, a lot of players playing the game were moving on or moving off a midfielder. I was moving off Rashford. I went for Foden. But if you look now, obviously we've been, Pep's injured or got a sore back and he's still killing us with his roulette and his puppet strings. Sterling, you would think, is getting 90 minutes most weeks, 80 at least. And you can't probably say that of Foden. Well, you definitely can't. I had Chilwell as my biggest point scorer. I mean, I wasn't far away. He got 6 points. He's not in this team of the week that we're looking at now. Gusto heavily outscored him with 2 assists and 2 bonus with 14. But, oh, God. Chilwell, I think, should have scored. Obviously, that pass on the 6-yard box. And also, he was getting in areas. He's been playing left wing. He's been playing with Levi Colwill as kind of a narrow left back. And he's just been playing left wing. So I think he cut one across the box and the shot was blocked, I think, from Gallagher. So he's in and around the box. I thought he could have got a goal, assist and bonus. So although he got 6 points, I was very disappointed with that. So I didn't think it was too bad of a shout. You went with Haaland. Mixed bag for him, wasn't it? A couple of missed chances and a missed pen, but obviously gets his goal.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm still worried from last year. Every time I didn't captain him twice, and he scored a hat-trick mode. Yeah. It's like the fear makes me do it, even when it's not. I mean, I expected him to get a few at Sheffield United, but he missed the pen. Not too bad. Everyone's got him, but Chilwell. I know we're talking about him, but Chilwell, I got away with one there.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm aware that I got away with one because watching him, I was on edge. Yeah. I didn't even like watching the game, so I had to address that. But we will get to that.
We'll get to that. Flop of the week. Let's bring that up. Fernandes. That should probably cancel out your Sterling shout. But yeah, we've got Diaby was someone you mentioned in week 1. I know the podcast didn't go up because we had difficulties there, but he's been someone you've had a keen eye on, haven't you? The just fixtures haven't really. They've obviously lost 5-1 first game. He did score in that game, but he looks good. And I tell you, Ollie Watkins looks good as well. I've gone for Jackson obviously at the minute, but I think Villa are a proper team.
And the Villa boys, they do look proper. I won't lie. I like Diaby from the start, and I like the position like he's kind of playing. Kind of playing wide, but then he comes a bit off Watkins as well.
Yeah.
Joins him as well, so I mean, it is a good option. I'm going to look at them. I feel like I'm just looking at so many right now. Like,
I think the game obviously has got worse with Haaland being in it because it's captain central, but like the game this year, I think the pricing's very good. There's maybe 8 or 9 midfielders, probably more, who like I haven't got Mbermo, I haven't got Maddison, I haven't got a few of these players. Diaby, another one. Like there's a lot between 6.5 and 8 million who are all just bagging up. So it's about picking the right ones, but there's a lot to choose from. As a Liverpool fan, Darwin didn't play many minutes. We have a lot of fun with Darwin, don't we? We have a lot of jokes with him. I've been slating him. I love his movement. I love his pace. I think he's very raw. But if he can nail down that striker spot, I think I've asked you this before, but what is Liverpool's strongest front three, and who's missing out?
It's just tough. I don't know. I think I need to give it a bit more time because you've had obviously bar from Salah. It's kind of there's a rotation a lot at the moment. I think you need to give it a little bit longer because Diaz was out last year. He's come back, been good. Yeah. Jota was really also obviously out.
I really like Jota.
So do I. He was out, and he's had his injuries as well. And then Gakpo's kind of just come in, and Darwin last season, like you can see, there's something definitely there. Definitely, I'm gonna back him. I've definitely said that. You know I'm gonna do it anyway, but. There's him as well, so they've not been there, or they haven't all been there.
Can you give us a little song?
So... Oh, no, I can't give it that song.
Why not?
Not today. But I'll tell you what. Go and have a look. What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Darwin Nunez. He came from Benfica to the Big Reds. What man?
Yeah, that's my ringtone.
Villa at home, Wolves away, West Ham home, Tottenham away, Brighton away. Maybe those are the next 4 or 5. So it's a mixed bag. Look, Liverpool score against any team. But then after that, game week 9, October the 21st, Everton home, Forest home, Luton away, Brentford home. Maybe for a discussion further down the line. But at the minute, we'll talk about last week. My team is up for the podcast listeners. I got 50 points. Anana blanking with 0. Saliba and Estepinian also blanking, but with 1s. Chilwell was my vice captain. As I said, I saw goals and assists there for him and clean sheet. He only produced a clean sheet, 6 points. Bruno, Saka, Odegaard, Matoma, Foden. Frustrating with the Foden minutes. And he comes on and gets an assist immediately. Haaland captain with only 8. And Nicholas Jackson with 7. So a kind of a good, bad week, if I was to describe it like that. The decision around getting rid of Bruno or Rashford last week kind of went in my favour. Both of them produced, but Bruno got the maximum bonus and got 12. So I'm happy with that. And going forward, I'm happy to keep him. I know you're not, let's say, agreed with that, but yeah, what do you think about the Manchester United assets at the minute? And they're not playing great, are they?
I don't think they're playing great. I don't think Arsenal are playing great. I think I'm not going to just throw them off yet because it's early days.
Yeah.
But Rashford, for me, I don't know if he's got another week. You got to do more. I can't pay that and get that.
Yeah.
I know disrespect that. I need him to score. Bruno, that wound me up. That really wound me up.
And
but
would you make of this Odegaard and Saka? I've put Sack there instead of Saka. Odegaard versus Saka on pens. Both of them have taken 1 each now. Because
just what's going on there? I mean, like changing things. Like what? Everything's changed.
If I do go into the media world, I'll be that guy on a Friday going, Mikel, Max Kretschmar from the Max Talks Football podcast. Who is on pens?
Right. I mean, they're just changing a lot there. I mean, the back 4 just every week's changing.
Yeah.
My friends are Arsenal fans. I just said, why is everything changing? Pens are changing. Players are changing. You done well last year. Like, I don't know what's going on. But
a lot of people doubled up with their midfielders. Obviously, Saka has produced. And one of Odegaard and Martinelli. Martinelli's probably been a little bit poor. And rumours are Jesus will return this week, whether that's on the bench or not. That could affect Martinelli's minutes, do you think? Or do you think not really? Because obviously Trossard's in the background and things like that.
I mean, I'm not convinced by his minutes that much anyway. So, can't see it massively affecting it more than it is already. I mean, he's quite streaky, Martinelli, I think. So, clearly not in it at the moment, but I feel like he's quality, so he will have one of them where he just keeps bagging in, but yeah, can't see me going.
I'm not that managers listen really to fans and get fan pressure, but obviously, as you alluded to, like Arteta and Arsenal, he's changed something this year. Obviously, Gabriel's not been playing. Ben White's been playing in the middle, where Arsenal fans are saying he's been very good at right back, overlapping on Saka most of last season. Obviously, they've looked worse, in my opinion. Does he resort back to that team which done so well for him last season with Rice?
I think, well, it's one of them where you have to try and bridge the gap, I guess. You have to try and change something. I don't know if this way will take some getting used to for them, maybe because it's a different system and that, but yeah, I mean, it would say a lot about him, I think, to be honest, if he does just go back. Because if he really goes for this and tries to play it how he would, and you have to think, even...
but what's he getting out of... Sorry to interrupt. What's he getting from Partey playing right back? I don't...
No, I'm not sure about that one, but if take Man City last year, for example, Like there was a period where they weren't great. Changed a few things. Pep kind of does what he does, and then they end up going on mad unbeaten streaks and that. So I don't know. We'll see. I can't really see the Arsenal. I'm not saying I'm going to get rid. I'm not probably going to get rid of Saka. I just think the value is too much to get rid of. But I'm not bringing in 2. Definitely not.
Yeah, I started with 2, so I've got an Odegaard decision to make. Up to 6th in the league. It's pretty tight. We've got Tremaine Barrett at the top. I'm 11 points up. Yeah, mate. What's wrong with that?
I just didn't know. I had to scroll.
That's a big green arrow. That's all that matters. On to your team. There's a picture of him on the phone again. This time with that picture with 41 next to it looks more stressful than it did last week. Last week it was like he looked like a serious boss man. Like he's really like this looks like what the fuck is going on. Like 41 points down to 3rd in the league. Still doing well. 6 points off top. No need to panic. You brought Jackson in. He scored. What would you say to the fact that Chelsea played Luton at home? Probably the easiest fixture. Those top 6, if we because we normally try and pack our teams with top 6 players. Luton at home is the easiest fixture this season, right?
Yeah.
So with those Sterling numbers and Jackson, what did you make of Jackson? He had a poor first half, in my opinion, and obviously the fixtures going forward. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to sign a striker, but we do have a few more days. Jackson in, he hits for you straight away.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's quite raw as well. He's got a bit of the Darwin.
Don't disrespect his name like that, man. You paid 80 million for him.
Listen, I'm not saying that. I mean, in terms of he's a bit raw. He's sometimes he's not very clean.
Yeah, he wasn't first half.
As other players, but I don't know, just his attributes. Like he is a nightmare to defend as well because he's strong, he's quick, turns. I don't think he was that poor first half. I mean, if it weren't coming off for him a few things, but he just keeps going. And them strikers that do just keep going. He's like they have the sort of. Salah has this. Yes. He has it where he just keeps going, and it like he will fuck up and stuff, but things will come off because he keeps going.
Yeah, I agree.
So he has that kind of vibe to him, which I like.
It's quite. Obviously, I do a bit of coaching on the side, and I've been involved in coaching a long time. You don't get strikers like that anymore. Everyone wants to be a number 10, dropping in, linking the play. His goal at back post, 2 yards out, tapping, great ball from Sterling. I love. And as I said, there's no real competition for his place at the minute. Apparently, Chelsea are after someone who can play across the front line. Cole Palmer. I don't know where that one's come from. Has come out of nowhere. Have you got any opinions on that?
Pretty much done.
What do you think of that?
Is it not? I like Cole Palmer. I think he's a good player. I just think Chelsea are mad. Like what? They just buy everyone. Like I don't know what the heck. I don't know if there's a plan. If there's like. I
was talking with a friend today. He was like, "What do you make of this signing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna turn my nose down it, but like I want to win things next season, like, and I want like experienced winners. If you think about the Chelsea player, like teams down the line, Mourinho or Conte's last team, Fabregas, Matic, Ivanovic, Terry, Da Costa, like proper players in their prime. So we've got a lot of young players. But yeah, obviously their fixtures at the minute are absolutely flames. So everyone is getting in their assets. Let me just get up their fixtures now. Chelsea, Forest home, Bournemouth away, Villa home, Fulham away, Burnley away. Next 5. Few away games, 3 away games, 2 home games. 2 home games are Villa, which will be tough, and Forest at home, and 3 away games, Fulham, Burnley, Bournemouth. A lot of people getting their assets for obvious reasons. Let's go through your team. 41 points, as I said. Onana, again, a blank. You had Bell for Luton, who come on because Akanji didn't play. We'll get onto that in a minute. Estepinian, Saliba, blanking as well. Cross midfield, Rashford, Saka, Foden, Mitoma, Son. Haaland captain, Nicholas Jackson. You shake your head at Son. Let's come on to Akanji first. Apparently ill. Well, that's what I read on this website. And he's got an orange flag at the minute. We'll be looking for press conferences on Friday. But this is the thing with City defenders, City midfielders, City, not really attackers, but City players in general. Last season, they had the best expected goals conceded. The season before they did, and the season before they did. A City defender is just 6 points, mainly guaranteed every week. But we can't pick the right one.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing well for me as well, Kanji. I thought that was a good pick, and then ill. Don't know what's going on now. It's just a roulette. It's just stress every time their lineup comes out. Don't know what I'm gonna get. Could get anything. I could honestly get anything.
Champions League in Gameweek 5, Lofty.
Yeah, it's something to look at because I can't do it. I can't deal with that.
It's frustrating though when you got to waste a transfer on a defender or a goalkeeper when all these midfielders are popping off and these fixture turns are happening.
Yeah, but I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just not. So
yeah,
you're going to have to get looked at.
As long as you've got a decent bench. Son, go on, go.
Just don't know. Just was on the pitch.
This is not what you were saying.
No.
On Saturday midday.
I'm going to get onto it. So he comes on. I'm seeing tape and that around his hammy and knees. I don't like that. I didn't like that. I just didn't like how he was moving. He just didn't even look free. I don't know what was going on.
What does tape on the hammies mean for the listeners? Like that what do they call it? Kinesis tape or something? Kinetic tape or what's
K-tape, yeah. He had the tape down the knee, hamstring. He's feeling a bit tight in training. Yeah, he's a captain. They're going to push him through all this and that. Like, no.
Have you watched a lot of Spurs closely? I haven't. I can't lie.
I have actually. I did watch the Wolves game. I like him a lot as well.
Yeah.
He did go up front.
He did he?
In that game, yeah.
What, when Richarlison come off?
Yeah, so...
Okay, interesting. And
frustrating, but I did like that. He was playing a bit of a strange... When he come on, he was playing... I found he was dropping in quite a lot. He was getting down the sides, kind of in behind, but...
Yeah.
Kind of more wide and then dropping in.
That's what I've put here. Is he playing too wide? I'd be 95% sure he'd be on penalties as well. He's taken them for South Korea. Maddison, I remember missing a couple at Leicester, but he's the one I've got my eye on. We'll come on to him later, but it seems Maddison he's never really had that goal threat, I would say. He's always scoring from outside the box, free kicks and things like that. If he can show me that he can get not tap-ins, but shots inside the box, I've got a decision to make on bringing a midfielder, but I'm not...
That was like goal on... sorry, that was like his goal on against Bournemouth. Arriving into the box, put it in. So that was, if you're looking at that, I had to pick a lot, and I picked the most expensive one.
Yeah,
fucking nothing.
Sometimes
sums it up.
Sometimes that does get in your head a little bit. And Foden benched. Does he start the next one? Apparently, he was ill as well.
It has to. When he come on and change them, he's got to play. I think watching that, you can agree with that. I think honestly. Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with Pep, but I don't know what's wrong
Fulham
with him.
home next game.
If he was ill, fair enough, but I'm saying that can't become a theme where he's your best player. Because I remember he used to do this a couple of years ago. I remember Sterling scored a hat-trick once and he just didn't play the next game. That can't... I don't get
Mahrez
that.
Used to get braces on the regular and get dropped. They get signing Nunez from Wolves... I'm pretty sure he's an 8 now. He's an 8. He plays in Foden's role there.
I mean, it's another something to this is what I mean. So I don't know. He's going to do whatever, and that stress I can deal with right now. But when it starts getting intense, which I'm hoping this year, which I'm telling you this year, actually, it is going to at some point because I'll be right up there.
Remember how good he was against. Who was he playing last week? He created 8 chances, something crazy. Newcastle, yeah. We're both tripled up on City. That equals stress and points. You just don't know when each one's going to come. On to game week 4. We have the fixtures up there for people watching on YouTube. I'll go through them quickly. The early kickoff, I think it's on Friday. Luton, West Ham. Saturday, Sheffield United versus Everton, Brentford at home to Bournemouth, Burnley Spurs, Chelsea Forest, City Fulham, at 3:00. That's got to be goals. Brighton and Newcastle, that'll be a wicked game. It's a late one on Saturday. Sunday, Palace Wolves, Liverpool Villa, and Arsenal United. I've highlighted 3 games there where obviously this is the part of the show where we pick Gameweek 4 predictions, biggest point scorer of the week, differential shout for the week, but maybe the next couple of games on the watch list, people we're looking at to bring in our team, and flop of the week. Flop of the week is normally someone highly owned who we think is going to underperform. I've highlighted Luton at home to West Ham. I'm kind of looking at Luton's fixtures and trying to, I know it's only one game, but trying to link that up with someone who's going to play them and then have good fixtures after, because I think they'll be the so-called whipping boys this year. Chelsea Forest, I've highlighted, maybe my Chelsea bias, but I mean, I went to Chelsea Forest last season at the Stamford Bridge and we drew with them. And yeah, but hopefully we're a different team. But that could be trickier than I think. And City at home to Fulham, I've highlighted. Have I missed any games there you would think? I'm trying to find mismatches there and people we can jump on for these predictions.
I think you have highlighted most of them. Is it Brentford?
Bournemouth.
Brentford at home.
Yeah.
I think Brentford are good at home.
That was the one that was just catching my eye as well.
People have got Buemos and Whisters and stuff. That you might look at that.
I think they're in the top 3 for XG this season already. Now I know Buemos had 2 penalties, I think, so that boosts it up a lot. But without Tony, they've really impressed and created a lot of chances. Yeah, so I agree with you. Maybe I should have highlighted that game as well. Biggest point score of the week. You've gone for Foden. I've gone for Haaland. So you are hoping Foden comes back from illness ASAP.
I think he must be good. If he's good to go this week, then he's going to play. And I don't know. I think with the chances he's creating, plus, I mean, he probably is going to create him for Haaland, which is going to be annoying. But I'm thinking to do an early one out on the limb and just give him the arm back.
Oh, breaking news here! Whoa! We need a siren or something. I know someone else who is doing this as well. So you're saying Foden is in your thinking for captaincy this week?
He is, yeah. Yeah, he definitely is.
I like the bravery.
Just if there's a time to throw one out there, I think it is now.
Just remember going back to the beginning of the show when last season you didn't back Haaland a few times. But listen, it's your team. I've gone for Haaland, highest scorer. I've also stuck with City for my differential shout. This player for City has played 3 90s in a row. And in that first game, kind of blocked Foden's points a little bit because he missed a few chances. He worked the keeper, and I'm talking about Julian Alvarez. They're both kind of playing alongside each other, although Alvarez looks a bit further more forward, and would you agree he's a bit more of a goal threat than Foden, and Foden's more of an assist threat?
Yeah, I'd agree with that, just sort of where he's playing. It's a good pick. Definitely one to think about. Just again, I think he's more likely to be rotated than Foden. But if
I just said he's played 3 90s, to be fair to him.
Yeah, if you got Palmer coming out as well with that.
Yeah.
City look a bit light in there. Like, you have to admit, there's a lot of rotation, but they're not as kind of deep as they was. They don't have a Mahrez anymore.
Obviously, they've signed that Doku. Apologies if I'm butchering that. Yeah, he's probably coming for Mahrez and Bernardo Silva's back as well. So I'm getting really itchy feet on my Foden pick. And, well, Kanji, I'm kind of all right because I've got someone on the bench. But Foden I brought in for big points. I really like your differential shout. Do you want to tell the listeners what it is?
Bowen. Jared. I watched West Ham. Brighton. And I think they're back to their... I thought before the game that would be tricky for Brighton, just because the way that West Ham kind of play, like they kind of frustrate you, and then they hit you with Antonio and Bowen on the break.
Go easy here. Go easy, because they had 22% possession. Let's not
Who?
West Ham.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They frustrate you and hit you on the break.
But I want players who are going to be in my team like attacking, playing. To be fair, they had 2.4 xG against Brighton, 12 shots, 7 on target, and Brighton had 26 goal attempts, but only 10 on target, but only 1.42 xG. So I do get what you're saying. And yeah, Luton away. So do you think Jared Bowen's is that the biggest goal threat in that team?
I'd say so. I think Ward-Prowse is a great signing as well. By the way, that is a great signing. Money, and you get a proven good Premier League midfielder. I think that's a great signing for them as well. I think he just works for them.
Yeah, and I mean set pieces: Zuma, Ogbonna, Souček, Antonio. His deliveries are going to get some assists. But
yeah, no, it's a great pick.
I like that Bowen pick as well. I think that is good. I don't think his fixtures are amazing, but this one is amazing, as we were saying.
Yeah.
And he gets goals. Like he's like a striker on the wing. Did he play up front for Hull when he was in the Champ? I think he might have done, but now he's done both. Yeah, Luton home, City away. Luton away, City at home, Liverpool away. So it's definitely, listen, like I said, there's a lot of choice in that midfield, and it's a good pick for this week. You just got to have your eye on fixtures. The next one against City and Liverpool, but then Sheffield United at home. So it could be, and as you said, they might sit back against those two strong teams and get them on the counter-attack. On the watch list, you're facing your pain. Sterling, I've gone Maddison. Who would Sterling come in for, potentially, without revealing too much? Kind of contradicting myself there, but you've got Sterling on your watch list. It's just 19 points and the fixture list coming up.
So do you want me to tell you he's coming for, or do you want me to tell you?
He has come in.
No, he hasn't come in. I'm saying who, because there's only one name I'm thinking that he could come in for.
Marcus.
He's coming in for Rashford if he comes in. I might even do it this week. So, don't know. I'll think about it. If I don't do it and he does well, I'm going to be really annoyed. So, I think I'd rather take it now than I can't keep looking back. I can't do it.
But again. Sometimes, you're just when people have magic mushrooms and they're chasing the pink dragon or something, you can't chase the points that have gone already.
I'm chasing the pink dragon.
That made sense in my head, but it definitely won't. It's not a risk really. 90 minutes, as I said. Forest home, Bournemouth away, Villa home, Fulham away, Burnley away. We obviously beat AFC Wimbledon tonight 2-1. He wasn't even in the squad.
You saying I should look into that?
No, I'm saying that's good. I would assume that's good.
Oh, right, yeah.
Your Silvers, your Enzos who scored tonight, and your Chilwells were on the bench, but that says to me that I'm not taking any risk with this guy. He's my number one player.
Yeah, cool. And if that's the case, it's going to be hard to ignore him, so I might have to. I'm really looking at that.
All right, well, we'll get on to my plans in a minute. I've got a decision with 3 players, and he's one of them in midfield. Flop of the week. Again, how we describe this is someone is highly owned who's going to blank. That's kind of how I've pictured it in my head. Both of us have gone for a Brighton player, but a little bit different. You've gone for Estepinian.
Yeah.
Newcastle at home.
Yeah. After a great weekend for me, and a not great one for Newcastle, I can't see them not coming out strong against Brighton. And Brighton have been great at the back. I mean, they've been creating a lot. They have conceded quite a few goals already, though. So
I think they've got.
Estepinian offers a lot going forward, which is great, and he's cheap, so you keep him. But the clean sheets haven't been coming.
Well, do you keep him? Because on the next slide, we'll get to it now. On the next slide, is one of the questions, one of your topics, which you shouted me out at. What do we do with Estepinian now? Newcastle home, Man U away, Bournemouth home, Villa away, tough. Liverpool at home, City away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fixtures. 4 of them are Newcastle, Man U, Liverpool, City.
Yeah, it's definitely you consider selling him, but at the end of the day, it's how do you weigh it up? I mean, his attacking output is that high. So, and I think Brighton are a good team. So,
I love watching them play.
When they're playing,
they're my favourite team in the league.
I think they're mine.
Just let me put this. Just let me put this on camera and on microphone. Robert De Zerbi, next City manager.
You think?
Yeah. I think he's unbelievable, and I've seen Pep looking at what he kind of does, and kind of adapting his game a little bit. Back onto Estepinian, I'm on the fence at the minute. Well, I'm kind of want to keep him, bench him when he's got a bad fixture, play him when he's got a good one, just because I see him as a left forward, not even a left winger. I know if they concede 3 or 4, he can get minus points, but and I want to hold him. I feel like he's going to be a player in my team for the whole season.
Yeah, I think he take the risk.
I'm going to hold him through. This is one of the most horrible periods of fixtures I've seen. But after that, I know we're looking miles away. We won't get to that. But he's got easy fixtures after that. But Brighton have been in the bottom 3 or the top 3, however you look at it, for XG conceded. Conceded a lot of chances, a lot of expected goals. So they are leaky, as you said. And I've gone for Matoma as my flop of the week. I'm looking to get rid of him. Highly owned. I remember last season, he started really well this season. I was deciding between him and Mbermo. I think Mbermo's outscored him a little bit, but by not too much. He is 42.6% owned. So a lot of people have him. And I think, at the end of last season, he was kind of just like leveling out and wasn't really producing. I can kind of see that with those fixtures coming up. I know they create loads of chances, but I feel like I can jump on someone else. And if 45% of people stay on him, I can jump on someone else. I think I could go up the table. What do you think?
Well, I'll ask you this. How do you think Brighton are going to do in them games? Because I'm saying, for me, Liverpool, we struggle against them all the time.
Go on.
All the time.
So Newcastle home.
And concede goals in the game. I think that could easily be like 2-2.
United away.
Could easily win that.
I agree. Bournemouth home. Villa away.
Might be a tough game, but they could see them getting a point there or scoring at least.
Liverpool home. City away. So you think I'm...
God knows we don't know what we'll do there. We could do anything.
At least it's at home.
City away. It's not if anyone's going to do well, I'm looking at if anyone's going to do well. I've heard De Zerbi talk about Matoma as well. Anyone's going to do well in that team because they're going to be in these games. They're going to be competing. They're going to win a couple.
You're scrambling my brain.
I feel like he is going to be the person to do something. I can see like clean sheets in that going out the window a bit. I'd be surprised if they keep him in them games, but I think they're definitely scoring. And he's usually creating them or doing it himself. So
that goal against Wolves.
That's what I mean.
Oh, you're talking me out of it. You're talking me out of it. Decisions. But I agree with you. They're so good attacking. He's not really having João Pedro, is he? Welbeck's not clinical. Enciso's out. Oh, you could be right. Ferguson's look good. I've brought up Gameweek 4 and teams and plans, if I can get it out. So it does what it says on the tin. This is what everyone wants to see. But again, it took me a while to extract that team from you this week, didn't it? This might not be the team. Sky Sports news is coming in. Breaking news: you may take a hit. I've heard through the grapevine you may take a hit. But let's talk about the transfer you've made already, and I can see him there for the watchers, the YouTube watchers in your team, right in the middle of your defence.
got away with one. Massively got away with one. And I knew it as well. And you hated it when I texted you about it. You threw your toys out of the pram a bit, which I
got done out of 8 points, I reckon.
You threw your toys out of the pram. But I was really sat there thinking, and another day he gets 2. And he sets one up. And I can't keep living my days like that.
Who are you talking
and
about?
I'm not going to either. About Chilwell. I'm not going to live my days that way. So I'm going to get him in now before any of that nonsense starts going on.
Yep. Bored.
I didn't want him to rise. I got him in straight away. Thought he might rise again. Especially with the other players' fixtures. Look at Arsenal, Brighton, City, Kanji, and the unknowns. People be jumping off. If people are jumping off, they're jumping on him.
He's up to 5.8 already. He's gone up 0.3, and we're 3 game weeks in.
I can see that even going up maybe before the weekend as well.
I remember seeing it in pre-season. Like, that is a good price. Think about Danny Rose at Spurs under Pochettino, and I didn't anticipate him playing left wing. But even when I think we get our strongest team, whatever that is, whether Mudryk or someone pulls their finger out and someone goes left wing, he's going to be playing left back. I think he will be better there because he's arriving late. At the minute, I think he's panicking a little bit in the box, or he's in there early because he's playing so far forward. Look, that's a no-brainer. On the screen, I've picked out the 5 teams with the best fixtures over the next 3 game weeks. It ranks as Chelsea with the best fixtures, Luton, strangely enough, with West Ham, Fulham and Wolves in their next 3. City are 3rd, Liverpool are 4th, Palace are 5th. So, listen, you're probably keeping up with everyone else with a Chilwell in there, but you can't argue with that at all. We've talked about Estepinian. Do you want to select a topic out of the 2 of those bullet points? Sterling, Maddison, Foden debate, or do we need a Man City defender with Fulham, West Ham and Nottingham Forest in their next 3? But who'd you pick? Pick one of those, if that makes any sense.
I think the Sterling, Maddison, or is it Foden? Yeah. One of them, all of them. That is a headache right now. And do you know what? I'll tell you what. Whoever picks right.
That's my headache, Kyron.
That's gonna set you up good because, as you said earlier, the prices and that this year,
moving.
You can all go for it.
They're moving quick.
And they're moving up, and I'm starting to run out of time with some of them. I can't be getting caught up on the wrong one and losing money and then not having any or
Sterling 7.1. He's gone up.
I mean, I like Maddison a lot in Spurs' system. I like Sterling, and then you got Mbeumo.
Yeah, he's meant to be on that debate as well. It's meant to be that 4-way debate: Sterling, Maddison, Foden, and Mbeumo.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. Annoying. I think right now I'm leaning towards Sterling.
Can you rank them 1, 2, and 3?
Sterling, Foden.
No,
not Foden. Sorry, no. Sterling, Maddison, Foden, and Mbeumo. And that's hard. And the only reason I say Foden is because he's so good. He's so good. Honestly, he's so good. So if he's actually playing,
but that's the thing.
The big if. Yeah, that is the if. But I'm saying, let me put it like this: I'm more worried seeing a Foden than a Mbeumo.
By the way, you say
I'm more worried seeing Foden with Bournemouth at home than Mbeumo with Bournemouth at home.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that's the rank right now. That could change by tomorrow. To be honest, they could all change.
You complained about my sources and the apps and the websites I used last season. I've got inside knowledge that Sterling could go up tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, mate. And that's how you played like that for a while. It's not really worked. So
it says here on the brink of going up. Might be not tonight. Could be Friday or Thursday. It could be Sterling, Bowen, Ward-Prowse, and Vicario. But Sterling's at the top of that list. I'll talk about the other debate then. A nailed City defender, Jesus. It's probably like throwing darts blindfolded at a dartboard. As I said, City have got the best XG conceded every single season, and that's because they got the ball. They've got the ball the whole time. No one can like get it off them and get chances on goal. It was frustrating for Edison owners last season because they were literally only conceding 2 shots a game, and there were 1 or 2 were going in, so he wasn't banking them clean sheets. Where do we start? Akanji, I thought was nailed. You kind of brought him onto my radar, which you were complaining about. But last season, towards the end, 90, all in the league. Obviously ill. Ake has had a 78-minute, no minutes against Newcastle, and then a 90. Ruben Diaz, remember, we've got to take into context, no minutes against Burnley. They had the Super Cup 3 days later, and he's played 90 in the last 2 games. Is Gvardiol an option? He's played 90 in the last 2 games. Obviously, we can't move off him, but for the listeners out there, who would be your number 1 or maybe 1 and 2 City defender pick?
I mean, the only worry I got for Akanji is that Stones is out, and I'm seeing him playing in that role that Stones is being used in. So he's not going to be out forever. So I don't know what's going on. I think Gvardiol, he's like, you don't pay 100 million for Gvardiol and then not play it.
How much they pay?
Like, what was it? Was it like 100?
It can't have been that much.
Something crazy.
They paid a lot.
It was something crazy. It was a lot. I don't know what it was. I know it was a lot. I'll have to double check.
I'll give it a go now. Go on.
I remember it.
Go on.
It was a lot.
90 million euros, so, $98 million.
Yeah,
78 million quid.
I saw it in euros instead. Yeah. So to not play, I think he's not gone there to not play. Definitely not. He's quality as well. Yeah. So Ake's always. I have no idea. I think if you had to go for one, I'd probably go Diaz.
Yeah.
I'd probably just have to say Diaz is the main, but it's.
We got Champions League. We've got Champions League around the corner. Oh God.
So who does he prioritise for that, and then he doesn't, and then it depends who they're playing in the Champions League as well. I think.
Oh, it's so annoying because you want to attack their assets because they're so good, but we have to play this merry old dance every single week. Next week, I'll read out your team: Onana, Arsenal away, defensive Estepinian, Chilwell, Akanji. If they all play, points. Estepinian at home to Newcastle, Forest at home for Chilwell, Fulham at home for Akanji. Mitoma, Saka, Rashford, Foden, Son. Burnley away for Son. Good differential. Burnley play attacking football, could be leaky at the back. And Jackson and Haaland, like most, up front. I've got a bit of an issue this week. I've got 2 United players and 3 Arsenal players, and they play each other. So at the minute, I've got Onana in goal. Akanji, same back 3 as you. Akanji, Estepinian, Chilwell. Foden, Mitoma, Odegaard, Saka, Bruno, Jackson, Haaland with Saliba on the bench. So I've got 5 assets from that one game. I don't know what way that game's going to go. And I bench Saliba because I don't see a clean sheet for Arsenal. I could be wrong there. So, decision I have to make is one of those 3 players are coming in, Sterling, Maddison or Mbeumo, and I need to pick whether I could roll and be in a really strong position next week, but do I take out Mitoma, as I've said, or Odegaard?
They asked me that in a question, but I'm not trying to help you, to be honest. So this is a problem with this.
Listen, I'll tell you, I'm not in the same boat as you this year. I just want this podcast to get popular and to have some good crack at that. You don't have a trophy, so I understand why you're so keen to win.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I won the head-to-head league, and on top of that, this season as well.
That's like winning. That's like winning
the FA Cup.
Your old trophies. Have you won like back in previous years or something? Have you won in previous years in FPL?
Yeah.
That wasn't in this. Oh yeah, that's like Div 1, mate.
Oh.
Premier League now.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? You can't just live off that. So you won a head-to-head. You won the Community Shield. Fair play. And I hope you enjoyed.
I hope you enjoyed the money.
You hope you enjoyed the money. Yeah. You didn't show any grace or decorum when you won that as well. That was one of the worst days I had this summer.
To send me. Yeah.
That's fine.
Are you going to take a -4? Likes to take hits in fits of rage.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I think it'll be the first one. It's not a fit of rage. That's the difference.
Well, can we talk about Jacob taking a -8 this week after not revealing his team? That.
I mean, he don't show up and then he goes and does that. I can see why. It's like, there's no explanation for it. I said it to him. You deserve that.
And then I looked at his. I saw the -8, and I was like, okay, who's he brought in? He must have got some like nice high scoring, high ceiling players who no one's got. He just brought in who everyone else has got. Strange.
Yeah, he's all over.
Strange. But back onto your team. Will you take a -4? You don't have to tell me. You're getting all personal. You don't want to reveal. I don't want to help.
I might. I haven't decided yet. Still got time.
So I'm not. Okay, I'll let you withhold some information, but you did say Rashford. You're not keen on him. So interesting. For me, like I said, the debate. I've got a lot of players from that fixture. The Arsenal Man U fixture. Quickly, what way do you see that going? Arsenal at home.
I think Arsenal win. But
scoreline
or draw.
Draw. I see 2-2, but actually I see 1-1. Actually, I see 1-1.
I'd see Arsenal 2-0.
Really? So Saliba. Oh God, Saliba.
Yeah, I haven't decided. So I did have Espinal at first, but he might.
What I will say is, are you not going to move Saliba up on your bench, or you want Usula?
Nah, it wouldn't be him. It would be. I wasn't sure about because he wouldn't come in anyway.
Why not?
I mean, I assume everyone else is playing except for Kanji. So
just get that bench right. Just get that order right. Some advice from me.
Oh, the order's fine because if the bench is the only player I'm not expecting to not play out of them is Kanji, and Masula's not coming in for him.
Yeah, he is. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Yeah.
So obviously I'm switched on, and you're not. Yeah. Which is fine.
That's why you're above me in the league. Nice work. I respect it. Not for long though. Not for long. Listen, it's been a pleasure, Kyron. Thanks for coming on.
It's been an insightful one.
Let's get this podcast to the moon. We want to get more subscribers. Still, Rome wasn't built in a day. That's what we're saying in many ways, because I'm having a mare with the technicalities of it. But I think this one's gone good today. I think it's gone very good. Listen, good luck in game week 4, mate.
Cheers, mate.
And I hope you had a good one. Obviously,
do you mean that though?
Well, it doesn't matter because I took 3 points off you in the head-to-head last week, so you're not kind of my problem this week. But consistency in the long format, I can keep seeing it. I like my team. I like where we're going, and I wish you all the best.
Cheers,
See ya.
And I wish you the best. Cheers.